What do you think about FreshNFit getting demonetized? Oh, Linus Tech Tips. I can't believe that they actually... I got invited to a dinner with a bunch of the FreshNFit guys, and I went and because I was never going to do it, because I didn't want to do it, because I didn't think I had the time to prep for it. Mainstream media needs to do much better, and I hope they're learning. I hope. With Google rolling back their policy on like instantly banning misinformation, I hope the mainstream media reevaluates how they engage with conspiracy theory. I understand why they don't want to, because it seems so stupid and so niche, but it's not niche anymore for the Republican parties.
We are not on good terms with China right now. And they can fire lasers. If they can start 50 fires all at once with a sequence of doing high burst, high energy lasers.
Lots of stuff going on since I left. Jesus. There we go. All right. Now you're double mic'd, okay? Now you got me in stereo. How are we doing? Do you think it's wild how the vacation meme is actually sort of true? I'm not sure. Maybe it's just that, like, since I'm not covering stuff, or since I'm not streaming, more attention is paid to other stuff. Like, is it actually the case that every time I go on vacation, the world falls apart? Is that actually the case? I mean, last time it was like an attempted coup, right? I don't know. How was the JUBILEE show? The JUBILEE show is in like 2 hours. Do you know when the JUBILEE thing will be released after shooting? Doesn't it take them like weeks or months to do editing? I don't know. Thoughts on XQC? Is he retarded? Listen, man, love is a powerful thing, but not as powerful as being obsessed, and he is obsessed, okay? Give your take on the Linus Tech Tips drama. I'm gonna be honest, when that girl started tweeting shit, I just assumed that, because she led with so many weak accusations. She led with like, I was the social media manager and I had to tweet 3 times a day and put 2 TikToks every single day. So I figured that, like, okay, this chick is retarded. And then she had like the sexual harassment stuff, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know. But then apparently other people are corroborating it. I don't know what the whales meme is. Why is everybody typing whales? We go on an academics podcast? I don't even know where he is. Is he in LA? What do you think about FreshNFit getting demonetized? I mean, from a content creator standpoint, obviously it's sad to see hardworking young men getting by YouTube. From an ideological standpoint, I mean, I'm not really pro-censorship that much anymore. So, I mean, like, I don't agree with it from that perspective either. Although, is demonetization the same as pro-censorship? You could probably make an argument of, like, I'm against all censorship, but that doesn't necessarily mean you get to run ads on everything. Maybe? I don't know. I can see you going back and forth. But, I mean, it's still sad for them. If I was to be like a stickler, or if I were to like be critical of something, I feel like, I don't know if I'm pretty sure I said this on stream. Didn't I say this on stream? I feel like I told them there's like absolutely no reason to dive into all the JQ shit. Like, why? Like, shit on women, do the red pill stuff. It's such an easy way to make an ungodly amount of money. Why are you diving into something so extremist that is going to alienate some of your audience? Because it is, believe it or not, FreshNFit have a lot of black people to watch, and like not all of them are going to be keen for that like race realism shit. And a lot of them don't even want to do that JQ shit either. Like, a lot of those guys are just there for like red pill advice, maybe make fun of women, etc. I don't know why he felt it so necessary to lean so hard into such a niche brand of extremist content. I mean, like, I'm sure they'll reflect on that in a few years. I don't actually know how old is Myron. I have no idea. Is he 33? Oh, I mean, I don't know. He hasn't been in the space for, I guess, as long. I'm sure he'll probably think about it in a year or two and he'll be like, yeah, like if motivating young men and all that shit is like what I actually want to do, then maybe, you know, questioning the official count of the Holocaust wasn't the direction to go. Swedish government increased the threat level for terrorist attacks. Yeah, I went to the park in, bro, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, in Stockholm. They're doing like big outdoor movie theater things in some big park. And apparently the threat level in Sweden is level 4. whatever that means. Do you think it's reasonable to have an unstoppable mindset given their pretty strong meteoric ascent? No. I think that something that's very hard to learn is it kind of seems like if you just move with a lot of like, I don't know if you'd say masculinity, maybe like determination, aggression, conviction, that as long as you keep moving in that direction, you'll always kind of like persevere. That's not true. You have to be intelligent, because you can run your brand like right into a brick wall with all the conviction in the world. You know, it doesn't, just because you slam the gas pedal down, you know, and you drive right off a cliff, it doesn't mean that you're going to succeed, you know? And that's another thing that's difficult to learn, is you think that if you just keep working hard, you keep doing the, you know, what you think is right and blah, 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 that it'll persevere. But no, you have to be smart with your moves too. You've got to be intelligent. Are you done with the blue hair? I might dye it again. I don't know. We'll see. What does your decision to re-dye it or not hinge on? Honestly, it hinges on whether I'm lazy and want to go and schedule like a 4-hour re-dye thing, whether or not I want to suffer for 20 minutes with my scalp burning, and then how I feel about like dressing up for events and shit. Because when I bought like a lot of outfits and stuff, but like when you have blue hair, it's really hard to color coordinate anything because it just looks like bizarro. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I get home in a month or two how I feel about it. It looks so goofy. I don't think so, actually. I think it looked pretty good. And I got a lot of compliments on it, so. Is the Jubilee thing live? No, I think it's heavily edited. What I have actually thought of, I just have to think of a time zone. What I've thought of, this is, so I'm making moves community management wise. I'm paying Forethought now more to get him to be even more active with the flare management, everything in the subreddit. Polecat is now my official head of my Discord, who's like hopefully gonna try to figure out like more events and everything to get the Discord people happier. I've thought about for movie chat, what I've thought about doing is I'll bring back movie chat, but we just do like movie time. So it's like one movie a night or something. Or maybe there'll be like a 3-hour block where you guys can watch movies, and then the rest of it is just offline chat. So that way you'd still have movie chat, but it would be at a certain time, and then it wouldn't always be shit up with movies or whatever. And then it could be like a little event that people do, I guess. The only thing with that though, that I've considered is there's gonna be a lot of drama with people competing for that movie streamer slot. So I don't know if I have to pick an official one so there's not so much fighting, or if it's going to be people trying to like report and backstab each other, fighting over who's going to be like the movie streamer, you know? The conductor wars, yeah. You want to do anything with your YouTube community? Yeah, I don't really know what to do with them. They're just kind of like hanging out there on the side, just existing in YouTube limbo. I really need the selection season to pick back up. Bro, conservatives are actually losing their minds. There's like a new conspiracy theory every single day. It's like every single thing that happens now has to be a conspiracy. The Miami fires were started by the Obamas and the governors and the Oprahs to like increase the value for their property. And like now there's like people are talking about there's like SV40 polio vaccine contamination in like the vaccine and shit. Merit equals dairy cipher is the only good conspiracy theory. Well, that's not a conspiracy theory. That was actually true, right? Thoughts on the Logan Paul drama? The obsession over like body counts and like who too is like, it's like the most insecure like cringe shit in the world too. The funniest thing too is all these guys online making fun of Jake Paul's fucking girlfriend would probably drag their ball sack through like a mile of broken glass just to get a whiff of this like lady's fucking ass crack. Like these people would be down bad for this woman in a heartbeat, but because they're like these lonely sad virgins on Twitter that are just like spam shitting or whatever, they're trying to like make fun of him because his girl's like people. Like, come on, dude, who the cares? That's on the Linus Tech Tips drama. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't. It can't really be. Destiny always projects hard on this point. I like how you guys say I project when I've been in my relationship for 4+ years. You guys are new. You've only started like the cuck memes like 2 years ago. I like how you're claiming that I'm projecting. Like, you're the virgin. Like, what are you talking about, bro? We were all at the FreshNFit podcast studio. We all saw, he's like, how many of you guys have a girlfriend, or how many of you guys don't have a girlfriend? And like 90% of the audience raised their hand, okay? Like, don't talk about projection to me, my fam. Did you see XQC join the Champions Club? I've talked to him so much about like random shit going on. I don't feel like I can talk about anything because I'm gonna like end up leaking something or saying something retarded. But yeah, that whole situation is retarded. Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, Linus Tech Tips. I can't believe that they actually. Okay, this is what I think has happened, but it can't be this. It can't be this because this is so ridiculous. It sounds like what happened was they got a they got a radiator block, I guess, is it some kind of air cooler, I guess, a radiator block to put on a GPU to review how good it does, how good it cools. And apparently it was supposed to be used on a 3090, and instead he demoed it on a 4090, even though they sent him like a 3090. And then he said that it sucks shit. And then they got upset because they were like, bro, you demoed it on the wrong GPU. We even sent you one. And then they were like, okay. And then there was also like a proprietary prototype where they were like, we need you to send that back to us. And then they were like, yeah. And then they auctioned it off. And they lost their graphics card. It can't be that. That can't be the case. It can't be that. That's just way too goofy. That can't be what happened. You think XQC will win the court case? Bro, I hope so. But who knows what's actually happened at this point? It's hard to say, you know? An important detail is that they initially said Linus could keep it and only wanted it back when they shit on it. Oh, that's interesting if that is the case. If that's true, that changes things a little bit. Oh, wait. Somebody just said Destiny. That's not true. They always wanted it back. Oh, well, maybe Dark and Full of Terrors is a liar. Who knows? Why do you like blue so much? I don't know. It's a cool color. Damn. Does he just act miserable whenever he travels? For fuck's sake. No, I actually had a lot of fun. I did LSD in a cabin in the woods. We walked around for 3 hours. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, you know? I had a good time. Went to some nice hotels. We went to an Italian restaurant the first night. Good stuff. Has Xena a new orbiter? Who knows? 100% chance that even when people go on vacations to different countries, they'll always eat Italian at least once. I feel like Italian food is always okay because like the floor is like very high or low depending on how you do it. Like can you really have horrible like spaghetti or horrible like tortellini or ravioli or like it's pasta and then some sauce? Like it's always going to be decent. Like you can't have like everybody in chat wants to be elitist about it, but like nah. Like you're always going to have like it's always going to be okay. Thoughts on the Madison stuff relating to Linus Tech Tips? Bro, I don't know. Linus Tech Tips like self-destructed when I was gone. Are you wearing this for your Jubilee episode? Yeah, probably. Jeans and a t-shirt. Wow, PK12AI3, 5 gifted subs. Thanks, buddy. I like how they named this Hurricane Hillary. Why would they do that? On all the hurricanes in alphabetical order and named years in advance? I know they're alphabetical order. Are they really named years in advance? I don't know about that. Maybe. Any other thoughts on the Derry/Barrett stuff? Not really. That's pretty wild. Pretty wacky. We got hardcore infiltrated, guys. He was on some deep cover shit. But we sniffed him out, guys. We gave him that big ban. Actually, he blew his own cover by blowing his load all over Q. Is Jubilee episode happening in that hotel? No, it's like 10 minutes from here. You can triangulate me. Are you going on No Jumper since you're in CA? I think tomorrow morning I'm doing an episode with Flacco. Do you speak with JJ McCullough sometime? Maybe. He tweets about me on Twitter. Or he zeets about me on his X. I just don't know what we would chat about, but maybe. We need this political season to pick up. I think I feel like my ego is getting too big. I think I want to just start doing conspiracy theories. After doing Fuentes and Dawson, I don't know, I feel pretty unstoppable. That was like a very limited prep too for both of them. And I feel like maybe we can actually dive into some of these. Maybe it's not like as convoluted as I thought. Or maybe I was a little dumber 5 years ago and I wasn't as quick, I guess. I don't know. Dawson said he didn't get to prep and that's why he lost. That would be like me getting to play a random game of StarCraft against somebody saying I didn't get to prep. Like, Dawson literally does exclusively, like, conspiracy shit nonstop. It wasn't like that's all he does. Like, I did prep for, I only had like a day and a half, but I did do it. Like, I watched videos of Dawson talking about, like, all the Russian troop movements and all that shit, so he knows about it. He's aware of it. But, like, I know that he like he thinks that, like, for instance, like, we didn't even get into some of the crazy things he said, like the Bucha massacre. He thinks the Ukrainians did all of that. He thinks Ukrainians raped and killed their own children to false flag Russia. Like, we didn't even get into the crazier things that he said, but he gave up on every single point that he got pushed on. It was fucking wild. I couldn't believe that. But I mean, whatever. He said you knew the subject for weeks. He only knew one day. What? I knew the subject for weeks? I knew the subject, I think it was 2 days in advance. I got invited to a dinner with a bunch of the Fresh and Fit guys, and I went because I was never going to do it, because I didn't want to do it, because I didn't think I had the time to prep for it. And then I met that Michael Sartain guy, and I talked with him for like an hour. And after talking to him, I was like, this guy is pretty smart and pretty knowledgeable. And I was like, fuck it. If Michael Sartain is my ally, then fuck it, I'll do this. I'll do research on, I know the Ukraine shit, and I'll spend a whole day reading every thing I can on it. And that's what I did, especially the start of the war in 2014. So I read that whole Rand analysis. I read like a torture analysis for POWs, or for people that were captured, not prisoners of war, I guess, from 2014 to 2015. Like, I read a bunch of shit for it. So I was ready to go. But I knew that topic like 1 or 2 days in advance. Like, that was it. But that was it. I didn't know that weeks in advance. But I think the problem is, I think Dawson is probably literally a one-trick pony. Like, he does 9/11, and that's it. Doesn't he do a lot of Middle East / Israel stuff? Yeah, but I don't know how much of it is like actually like good analysis versus how much is just like conspiracy theory, not trusting the main narrative, / like you just basically retweeting with his voice like RT propaganda talking points, you know? Like, the more that I looked up every little thing he talked about for 9/11, which is like that's his wheelhouse. 9/11 conspiracy shit is his forte. Like, he's literally done FOIA requests to get shit from the federal government related to 9/11. And the fact that he was still incorrect on a lot of his conspiracy theories, the fact that he said the United States claimed that anthrax came from Saddam Hussein, the fact that he talked about that Jewish texting app or whatever, like, yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of like built him up a little bit too much in my mind. Probably because when I debated him like 6 or 7 years ago, I legitimately didn't know anything about foreign policy. Although, to be fair, on that debate that he destroyed me on, that was supposed to be a debate on who would be a better president, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. And then turned into like a 3-hour debate on like the Middle East. And I was nowhere near ready for that. I probably couldn't even find like Iraq on a map. Maybe. But not like little more than that. Actually, no, I probably wouldn't have been able to pick it out between like Syria and Iran. I probably wouldn't have been able to. So yeah, he schooled the fuck out of me on that debate. But then I guess from there, I just figured he must have been a really knowledgeable guy. But yeah, I don't know. I guess not. Yeah. Did you hear the crazy Candace Owens tweets? Yeah, Candace Owens is losing her fucking mind. I feel like bro, I don't know, dude. Conservatives are just on some wild shit. We gotta tighten up. We gotta buckle down. Tighten up the hatches. We got to be ready, because this is going to be a wild fucking ride next year. What do you think of Sitch and Adams' meltdown? Bro, like, the thing is, I don't even necessarily disagree with them in principle. Like, you shouldn't be mean to people. I acknowledge that. But you got to admit, it's a little bit rich coming from these guys, not Adam and Sitch, but the conservative people on Twitter. The amount of vitriol that they have for people on the left, fucking groomer, fucking Hillary assassinated people, fucking climate change is fake, fucking groomers, you guys are fucking trans fucking groomers. And then you're like, I think Trump is a fascist. And they're like, what? Why would you call me that? Why would you say that? That's like the meanest thing in the world, bro. This is why I vote. This is why I'm a conservative. Like, this is why I vote. This is why I vote Trump. I have to vote Trump. Like, bro, are you actually serious? Like, how can you be that soft when you guys are like, you call me fat commie, tanky, you fucking commie, you guys are communists. The demon cats, the communists, you guys are the party of you Marxists, neo-Marxists. Fascist? Call me a fascist? Like, bro, come on. Really? No one cries when they're called fascists on the right. They still think it's ironic and stupid. Yeah, but their understanding of it is stupid too. Even Adam and Sidge's understanding is pretty stupid. They're like, oh, they're not fascist supporters. What do you mean they're not fascist supporters? It's because they don't say, I want a fascist president. You realize that's not how it works, right? Nobody was voting. Nobody wanted Mussolini or Hitler or whatever the fuck was going on in Japan. Nobody's like, oh, I want these guys because they're fascist. I really want them because they're fascist. I like fascism. Like, that's not how it works. That's not how any of that works, right? It's always times of great turmoil. We need to suspend some of our civil rights. We really got to make it through this. We got one guy that's going to lead us through. Like, that's fascism. Like, fascism is like a retrospective on like, what the fuck happened here? Fascism is not forward thinking. We're like, I really want a fascist leader. I think we need fascism. Like, that's what they're looking for. They're like, show me one conservative who's saying I'm pro-fascism. Like, show me one supporter of Hitler in 35 that was pro-fascism. Like, what do you mean, bro? Come on. Would you call Trump voters fascists? I mean, they support fascism. I mean, they do. Bro, when a guy's saying, I'm sorry, but like, it just doesn't get any more blatant than the media is the enemy of the people. If you burn the American flag, you should have your citizenship revoked. I want to ban religious and ethnic minorities from my country. And we don't believe the election. All of it is rigged unless I win. And it's rigged in the states where I lost, but it's not rigged in the states where I won. It doesn't get any more crystal clear than that. Like, what else do you want? Like, the guy's literally trying to steal the election, like 27 different ways. Like, how many more indictments do you need? Like, I like how all the conservatives are pearl-clutching over, like, you're trying to lock up political opponents? Do you not remember the Trump rallies? Lock her up. Lock her. Do you not remember Trump on stage saying to Hillary Clinton, you'd be in prison? And everybody applauding? Now you guys are pearl-clutching because Trump actually fucked up and actually caused some insane indictments, and now he's absolutely going to prison? Now it's a problem? You're so pearl-clutchy. You're a stolen Supreme Court judge, too. I am going to enjoy the schadenfreude a little bit. It's not a good thing, and I shouldn't enjoy it. If I was a stronger man, I wouldn't, but I'm not a stronger man. I'm a weak man, and I will enjoy watching you guys as crabs in the bucket, lobsters in the bucket, crawling over yourselves, trying to pull yourselves out of the cluster hell that you guys sank into this next election season. Jesus Christ. That's I got into an argument with a conservative friend of Trump is a retard, and I read how Fuentes somehow got into a person with Trump without knowing who he was. Trump is obviously retarded. I don't think anybody can say anything different than that. Do you get nervous for stuff like JUBILEE or random interviews / podcasts? No, it should be fine. Sewing out against Trump will definitely work this time. I mean, it worked last election, didn't it? Did you hear that Kick is introducing DVR? Bro, if Kick gets DVR before Twitch, holy yikes. That would be insane. What is DVR? The ability to rewind, basically. Why haven't Twitch added DVR? Who the f knows? Initially, I was saying that one thing that sucks for Kick is they're always going to lag behind features for Twitch because they both use Amazon's IVS, but apparently IVS already has implementations like ready for, would you call it an implementation? A standard? They can already do DVR with IVS. Twitch just doesn't have the implementation for it. So, I mean, it's there if Kick finds a way to do it, I guess, yeah. Is the camera distorting my head? Yeah. You want to see a real head up? Dude, when I had this thing, hold on. Let me... The giant forehead angle. Hello. Welcome. How are we doing today, guys? Welcome to the Big Brain. Welcome to the Big Brains Anonymous, all right? Everybody in chat, post your IQs. Damn, we got a 190. Nice. Didn't Twitch have DVR in the past? No, never. What does DVR stand for? Probably like digital video recorder or something? I don't know. Delayed viewing retard. Okay. What's our JUBILEE topic about? It's about, it's black conservatives versus white liberals. Oh boy. Is there a specific conspiracy theory you'd want to focus on when you return? I don't know, man. It might be more vaccine stuff. The problem is for conservatives, it's like everything is a conspiracy. So it's literally everything. Big pharma, big everything. Yeah, I don't know. The Hawaii shit, yeah. Remember when was it in East Palestine in Ohio, when people said that burning of those chemicals was going to like destroy the entire state or like permanently contaminate the grounds because burning them off was like the wrong decision or some shit. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Everything is, yeah. Why do you think conservatives become so unglued and distrusting of reality? Remnants of COVID shit. I actually started writing a lot on my laptop about this because I had a 13-hour flight and I was bored. One of the reasons why institutions are so important, it's not just institutions, I'm using this as a stand-in, but think about it this way. A long time ago, everybody in real life was like a RuneScape Iron Man. You could probably learn to do every single thing a human could do. And I think we did. I think in early hunter-gatherer tribes, everybody knew like how to pick berries, like what was safe, what wasn't. I think most people knew how to hunt. I think even women sometimes would join hunts. Everybody could like weave baskets. Basically, every single individual human could learn every single job and task in society, like everything. You didn't really need institutional or social trust that much. Like, well, you needed social trust. You needed to know that people weren't liars, that people weren't trying to murder you, that people weren't trying to steal from you. You needed to know that. But pre-agriculture, you didn't really need like to appeal to like, how do I know this basket is safe? Oh, well, you know, Jonathan over there, the leader of the, you know, basket validation club, you know, they inspect all of them. Like, you didn't need that. You just look at it. I know how to build baskets, right? The issue is that as society becomes increasingly complicated, at some point you have to start trusting these third-party institutions because you don't have time. Not only do you not have time to validate everything on your own, you really have no idea how anything even works. Like, most people, like, as sophisticated as society is, if you held a gun to a person's head, 95% of humans couldn't put together a light bulb, right? Yet we operate some of the most sophisticated machinery or technology that's ever existed in all of human history. And in order for society to work that way, we have to externalize onto other people basically a whole bunch of trust. And that process is dangerous. Not dangerous. The process is necessary, but it can be interrupted. Like, for me to function in society, I've got to trust that my food is safe, my car is not going to explode, my cell phone's radiation isn't ionizing my brain. I've got to trust that the cars out there are going to stay on the road and they're not going to fly into me. I've got to trust cops won't randomly kill me. I need to trust that like intelligence agencies aren't going to try to like abduct me or plant evidence on my computer. I need to trust that like there's like a million different things going on, and that like the cloth in these pillows aren't going to be like contagious with like some weird dye that's going to seep into my brain. There's a lot of different things that I don't know. I can't validate all of it. I don't know what's true or not. So there's an interesting thing that's happened. There's a process that's happened, right? So I'll call these like good epistemic practices, right? Good ways to discern truth from non-truth. It's good that you trust other people in society to tell you what's right or wrong. Not right or wrong, I'm sorry. To tell you what's like safe or unsafe, or to regulate certain things. That's good. That's fine. You should be doing that. The problem is what's happened is these third-party people have come in and they've said, don't trust the institution, but instead critical think. That's a false dichotomy. You can still critically think and trust institutions. These two things have nothing to do with each other. You can also critically think and not trust institutions, or you can trust institutions and lack critical thought, right? These things have nothing to do with each other. So what these people come in is that come in, question everything, be critical, but that's not actually what's happening. What's happening is you've decided that you're not going to trust this group of people anymore. Now you've shifted, and now you just trust this group of people. And that's all that's happened. So instead of trusting the FDA, which is an organization that is, you know, relatively well-staffed, that's regulated by the government, that's got institutional history, that's got accountability behind it, now you trust Tim Pool. Now you trust Joe Rogan. Now you trust John Malone. Now you trust these other people. They become your replacement institutions. People say, I don't trust institutions. Of course you do. You have to. You've got to externalize trust into something. But now your institutions have changed to alternative media YouTubers. And the problem is all the same corruptibility that can exist in the mainstream institutions is 10 times amplified on the alternative media, right? You don't think there's a financial incentive to give you a populist take on literally everything relating to vaccines and the war in Ukraine and every other fucking thing? Of course there is. There's so much. There's so much to gain there financially. But people don't even question it. So yeah, because they've tricked themselves into thinking, well, I don't trust those people. I'm just trusting them to tell me to critically think. But my form of critically thinking is just believing whatever they say, right? So yeah, I don't know. I've been writing down a lot of thoughts on this shit because it's probably going to be pretty important going forward and figuring out how to break people out of it. But you know. I think you may be overusing the word trust here. I'm pretty sure most people who listen to Tim Pool would say, no, I know that Tim Pool gets things wrong, but at least he's more correct than the FDA. Well, then I would consider that trust. You trust him more than the FDA. And I think more people would. If you were to ask an average Tim Pool fan, who do you trust more to give you good information about SARS-CoV-2 or any of the vaccines? Do you trust Tim Pool or do you trust Fauci? 95% of them would say I trust Tim Pool, or 99% would probably say I trust Tim Pool more than Fauci. Or Brett Weinstein, true, yeah. How is Shoes BF so fucking retarded? He just keeps repeating that 4chan meme we just learned. He's just like a random conspiracy dipshit. He just copy pastes whatever the current conspiracy theory is. I saw him do it with this SV40, this new COVID vax shit that I read for like 2 minutes yesterday. Apparently people think that like an old, what is the conspiracy? That like the government snuck in old pieces of a bad polio vaccine or something. And now there's like recombinant like monkey DNA that infects you and creates turbo cancers and the mRNA vaccine. It's some fucking retarded new, it's the new vaccine conspiracy theory. I wish for a lot of it, and it's hard to do this because I can't educate these people, obviously, because they're not going to see me as an authority figure on education, but like, I wish that people could just do a little bit of basic stats understanding, and it's like, bro, if the mRNA vaccines were fucked, we would know it. Like, you would not be able to hide with as many billions of doses of those vaccines that have been given out. If the mRNA vaccines were fucked, we would be over as a society. It would be like fucking... It would be like the apocalypse. There'd be so many people with issues. You wouldn't need like one person on Twitter to expose them. It would be like everybody would know like 3 friends that have like serious issues with COVID vaccines. What happened to the old conspiracies then? Did they get disproven or just irrelevant? They just get updated or people forget about them. Yeah. In my opinion, the alt media has some optical elements that make them seem way more trustworthy. For instance, Joe Rogan has a reputation for having almost anyone on his podcast, whereas the mainstream media feels more like an echo chamber, even though Joe Rogan has become an echo chamber in his own way. Yeah, that's true. Mainstream media needs to do much better, and I hope they're learning, and I hope, with Google rolling back their policy on like instantly banning misinformation, I hope the mainstream media reevaluates how they engage with conspiracy theory. I understand why they don't want to, because it seems so stupid and so niche, but it's not niche anymore for the Republican parties. I don't know why I have both these mics on me. The Republican Party's become like the party of conspiracy theories, whereas before it might have been a minority, now it is a majority. An actual majority. Not a majority like, oh my god, like 15%. Like a majority where it's like, oh my god, like 70%. Oh, the new diabetes med for weight loss? I feel like medication for weight loss is... It's actually probably, it's going to be a huge thing in the United States. If it actually works, that's probably going to be like one of the... They've been saying this for like decades. There's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for people that actually figure out a real weight loss drug. It's going to be like the most unbelievably cost-effective, like economically saving, health-saving thing in like the entire world, the entire Western world. It'll be insane if it actually works as well as they say it is. It'll be a life expectancy improvement. It'll be a quality of life improvement, like health span improvement. Cardiac disease is like the #1 killer of people. Diabetes is like a huge cut. It's expensive. Like, yeah, Jesus. Any idea for the mechanism for that weight loss drug? I thought that it was just appetite suppressant, basically. Am I wrong? Saves the entire country money on food consumption in general since they'll eat less. I don't know how much we actually spend on food versus how much is wasted. I read some insane fucking stat. I felt bad at one point when I was ordering those pre-cooked meals to put in my fridge because I'm like, this seems really wasteful that they're like shipping 5 meals to me every week. And I remember Googling because I was like, damn, I wonder how much like carbon footprint shit this is like destroying the environment. And I read that getting pre-cooked meals delivered to your door, even individually, is actually a huge fucking net gain environmentally because it's something like 50% of food that people buy from the supermarket gets thrown away. Like an unbelievable amount of food. Somebody can go and fact check that, but it's like an ungodly amount. It's like literally like, oh, it might be 30%. Even 30% is huge. 30% of fucking food at a supermarket just gets into the fucking trash can. Destiny, is it thrown away by the store or by people who buy it? I thought it was by people who bought it. I don't think that was even accounting for supermarket waste. I could be wrong though. Do you think weight loss drugs like Ozempic should be provided as part of comprehensive healthcare, or should it just be elective drugs? I mean, insulin isn't elective, right? It should probably just be part of it. Like lowering people's weight. If you could bring down the weight of everybody on a massive level, it's just like such an unbelievably huge cost-saving thing. And you're probably because you're cutting diabetes, you're lowering sugar intake. It's just better. It's probably just better. Like suppressing appetites if you can, yeah. Why not hire Xena as an assistant? She seems pretty competent. Well, one, I've known Lycan for a long time. If Lycan ends up f***ing out or backstabbing me, bro, just f*** me in the ass. I've known Lycan, I think, longer than Dan and Mr. Mooten. Like, yeah, like I've known Lycan for a long time. So you should be pretty trustworthy. And it'd be cool if I can hire him to do stuff. It's fun. It's always nice to hire friends if you can. Nepotism Andy. And I've seen Lycan post shit on like Twitter and stuff. It seems like he's a really good cook. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it seems fun. Did you see that post about Linus pushing that kid to suicide? Bro, that can't be real. That can't be a real post. I read that post. There's no way that was real. I don't believe it, dude. No shot. No shot. I didn't hear about that. It had to do with some kid who was making YouTube videos, and he had like the same branding as some Linus shit or something. And apparently the fans harassed this kid until he killed him. I don't know if it was real or not. I'm not sure. Linus suicide tips, Jesus. They won the NCIX YouTube plaque in an auction that Linus wanted to win. Damn. You said an anti-conspiracy arc. Yeah, we'll work on it. I think we should. Any large doses of psychedelics lately? You know what? Here's my random LSD stories. I feel like 100 micrograms of LSD is a really extreme experience, but I think that my tolerance for LSD, I think that what I thought was 100 micrograms of LSD got really early on. I'm pretty sure early on, I think I took 200 or 250, because when I was peaking, I did LSD for the first time, and I did what I thought was a 100 milligram like gel thing, and that experience, when I was peaking, it was like fucking, I was like fucking like, could barely make my way through this cabin. I was like, everything was like, oh shit, dude. I sit down and play the piano, and it was like, every fucking note I was playing was coming from like a different dimension. I was like, oh shit. And ever since then, every time I took 100 micrograms, I thought that, it was just so weak. But now I realize, I think of that first trip I did, I think it was 200. I think 200 is the key dose. I think 200 is the base level. So me and Melina did, some guy gave us tabs that were supposed to be 150 to 250. So I cut like a little part off. I was like, okay, I'll do like 125. And it was so weak, I didn't even get visuals. And then I ate the other part of it. I'm like, fuck it, I'll do the full, I guess 200. But I didn't get any visuals at all. I'm like, this is so fucking lame. Destiny, you're destroying your brain? If I'm destroying my brain, I'm probably destroying it with MDMA. I don't think LSD and mushrooms are brain destroyers. I never get visuals on LSD. Bro, LSD visuals are insane. When we did it last in Miami, I'm pretty sure I did 200 that time. Dude, I went outside. Oh my God. I went outside and like fucking the trees, everything is like fucking vibrating with like energy. It is like insane. I was watching Michaela last night. She found out DJ was watching and said you should unblock her. I blocked Michaela? There's no way. You can talk to and say Foozy Tube? I don't know. Did Tristan unfollow you? I think he unfollowed me when he noticed I unfollowed him. Because I unfollowed everybody. You can never believe the dosing of tab. The only way to tell is to try one. And even then they can vary across a sheet. Yeah, I've heard that too. Which kind of sucks, but I don't think I've ever done like, I don't know what it'd be like to do too much LSD, but yeah, I don't know what that would be like. Too many mushrooms is spooky as fuck. I feel like even when I've done like a little bit too much LSD though, it's like you're so much more in control than mushrooms. I'm not sure. I don't know. We need an FDA, but for drugs. True. What did LSD do to your anxiety? I don't really have anxiety, so I'm a perfect human. I'm a Giga Chad. Would you recommend LSD over mushrooms for a beginner? I think LSD is a way better drug. I just think it's better. I just think it's a better drug. LSD is just better. It's just better than mushrooms. Thoughts on XQC joining the Champions Club? Okay, he was dating that Fran girl for like a month, right? Does that even count at that point? Thought you developed anxiety after the big mushroom trip? Yeah, but it went away after like a year. I had like a year of dumb mental shit, but then it basically went away, yeah. Fran was leg locking him so he came inside. Jesus Christ. I feel like it's pretty easy to just not come inside a girl. I usually think of like, if there's somebody riding me and I'm like, I think I'm getting close, I usually just think of like, if I had to go on stream and tell my chat that I knocked up this particular girl, like what would chat's reaction be? And 99% of the time, people would be like, why would you do that? And then there's been like 2 girls where it's like, meh, you know, Comes from a loaded family, it's fine. But yeah, true. I'll be okay. I'll sue her for child support. But generally, yeah. And then once I think of it that way, my dick is like Fort Knox. We're lockdown boys. Does your competence in a lot of areas make your anxiety non-existent? Listen, ask me that when I get home, okay? I've been writing about that, about how special I am, and Giga Chad, and Stoic, and anime, you know? Hey there, Steven. I hope all is well. Wanted to say you've been a great streamer to watch debate, affected my outlook quite a bit. Hey, the multiculturalist James, if you actually thought I was a good debater and you respect me, why don't you spell my name correctly with a V, you cuck. I'm not Stefan, all right? But also, I love you, buddy. Thanks. What do you think about Poke leaking XC's Adderall solution? I don't know what Poke's deal is. It seems like a kid, but I don't know. I'm not sure. But, all right. I love you guys. Be careful. Oh, for JUBILEE, I'm going to try to speak slower. Hey guys, my name is Destiny. Hello. Today I want to talk about my political point of view. Hello guys. Hey. Hello. Okay, I'll try it. I will try it. I will try to speak slower. Okay, we'll do it. Rep around the cappuccino, pop channel, hop channel, mob channel, cappuccino, cappuccino, my dear. I will catch you guys next streamer,